I stand, I sit at this desk, I hang out on the couch, I lay in my bed, and I consistently generate five-figure months, all from the power of this little device right here. And today I'm going to share with you the power of having and creating conversations organically in your direct message on social media to connect, serve, and ultimately lead to conversions right here on social media. And so I want to talk about the do's and the don'ts because you want to think about social media, you're meant to be social, but you're also dating. And I always like to use the comparison to having conversations in the DM to dating, because when you meet someone on a first date, you don't go straight for the kill and like, oh my gosh, will you marry me? No. You take the time to get to know them. You address them by name. You ask questions to learn about them. What are their big goals? What are their aspirations? What do they love and like to do? And then you kind of see like, okay, is this person a good fit for me? Because ultimately you are interviewing people. You don't want to sign and work with every single client, because every single client is not for you and you are not for every single client. And so those are things that you want to think about. And I want you to remember these words, or it's not even an acronym, but create, consume, connect, and convert. So let me say that again: create, consume, connect, and convert. So when it comes to the process of dating, you might get dressed up before you go. You might do some research about the person before you go, and then you show up to the date. So on social media, you want to also do some research before you're creating the content that you're putting out, and you have a purpose behind every single post that you put out. Either if it's a carousel, if it's a picture, if it's a video, if it's a live, you have a purpose and a strategy. Okay, why am I showing up? Who am I talking to? And what is the end goal and outcome that I want to achieve from this piece of content? Or going on a date, from this date, what is the outcome I want to achieve? Okay. And so that's what you want to think about before you even get into the DM. Because the way DMs and people are going to reach out, connect, engage, or follow you is from that creation, from that content piece. It's going to get them to raise their hand. It's going to get them to actually comment in something in regards to like, oh my gosh, this was so helpful, I relate to this. Or they might ask you a question, or they might actually choose to follow. That is a cognizant choice when someone chooses to follow and join your world and community. And that's them letting you know that they're interested in either what you offer, what you do, you inspire them. They might be interested in your services later down the road, even if they're not interested right now. So these are things that you want to think about in your content and your marketing, okay? And then consume. If someone actually takes the time to engage with you, to follow you, to comment, go and see what's on their page, what's in their world, what are they about, and get to know them even before maybe you even start the conversation. So that way, when you do start the conversation in the DM, because they raised their hand or they commented or responded to a poll in your stories, now you can say, hey, Samantha, thanks so much. I've seen that my recent post about X was really helpful. I also see that you're a mindset coach. I would love to learn what inspired you to become a coach, or you can ask them a question about something that they actually made a comment on. What stood out to you the most about this piece of content? And that open-ended question is creating a conversation. What you don't want to do, which I've seen this happen, it happens to me all the time. I'm going to just read an example. Or someone hops into your DM, they don't even address you by name. It's just like, hey girl, hey sweetie, hey love, hey boy, whatever. I noticed that on one of your posts, you were complaining about X, and I used to struggle with that too. I'm actually offering free strategy sessions, helping people overcome that. What's the best time for you? Okay, first of all, you didn't address them by name. Second of all, you made an assumption that they had a problem and they need your services. The conversation is one-sided, and you diagnosed a problem that possibly isn't even there, and you offered an unsolicited solution. This is a no-no. You don't want to do that. And when people do that to me, I don't even respond. I usually just block them, delete them. I'm not trying to have a conversation. And if they just keep reaching out, clearly I didn't respond the first time, and there's a reason why. That's why I don't really like cold DMs. But that's another conversation. Versus instead, say this person, maybe I'm going to their page, and even if this is cool, I'm going to their page and I'm seeing something specific. Like, hey, Samantha, I see your most recent post where you were feeling lost and confused with your business. That is something that I've experienced myself. Let me know if you ever have any questions or you need some help with that. It's just offering help. And then they're like, oh my gosh, yes, I would love some help. I've just been feeling lost lately. I just started my business. I don't even know where to start. And then you come back into the conversation. You know what? I remember how I felt when I first started, and I wish I had someone telling me what not to do to save me so much time and energy. May I ask what's causing you to feel that way? Again, open-ended question. And then they respond, you know what? I just feel like I'm drowning in all these things and I don't know what to focus on. And again, the conversation continues, and then you can offer now ask what are their specific goals? Other than that, what are they struggling with? And then you can see based off of their responses if your product or service is actually able to help them get from where they are now to where they're looking to go. And that's where you can offer, maybe you have a free masterclass or training that you can give them or invite them to. You have a free guide or resource that can outline some steps that they can actually take away and implement right then and there. Or you offer them a complimentary strategy call. And maybe it's 15, 20 minutes to understand what they do and see if they're even a good fit to get to that next level in your sales process. And so when you do it that way, you're coming from a supportive, loving service place versus I'm trying to sell you, I'm trying to get this offer. And you're linking it back to maybe their content, their page, because you took the time to get to know them. You're asking open-ended questions and you're not making an assumption. You're allowing them to lead you and guide you to how you can implement and embed your service and how you can help. And so that's where the connection comes in. You're connecting, you're building relationship, you're building rapport, and you're possibly, and you should do this, taking them off of the platform of social media, of LinkedIn, of YouTube, of Facebook, of Instagram, of TikTok, wherever they are, and you're bringing them into your community, your world. Now you can continue to serve them, provide value, get to know them, and see if, hey, are we a good fit to possibly partner together? And that's where the conversion comes in, where you're actually inviting them to come into your world and be in your service. And I want to let y'all know, if you guys would love my exact DM script conversation, and I don't like to say script, it's more like an outline. You want to take your audience through a journey with you before you invite them. And so if you would love access to that, just comment word access and I will share that with you. Okay. And when you are having these conversations, you want to think about it like this. Sometimes people are not going to get right back to you right away. Okay. You might start the conversation and then they ghost you for a week. But have you ever gotten a text message and you see the text message in your mind, you're about to respond, something happens, you put your phone down, you completely forget about the text message. And then a week later, oh my gosh, Garrison, I was going to call you. I was meant to text you back. I'm so sorry. I forgot. Life happens. And that's how it is in the DM. The DM is just like that, where you might reach out to someone, they don't respond right away, and that's okay. We're human. And that's what you want to remember. We're human. This is a person that you're talking to, and you want to make it a conversation like you're actually meeting them in the real world. You wouldn't go to some stranger on the street you don't know and say, hey lady, and then give them a whole pitch of what you offer. You don't even know them. You don't even know what their issue is, and try to sell them on something. Gross. She might look at you crazy, scream, oh my gosh, get away from me, and run away. That's how it is in the DM. You don't want to be that person, that gross person, that icky person where it's ugh, this is disgusting. Who does that in 2023 or whatever year you're watching this? Don't do that. Be real, be organic, be authentic. And please stop sending random posts in the DM. I just sometimes get random people's posts or, hey, I just posted this, go like it. No, don't do that. Or, hey, watch this video. If it's not related to what I do or it's not related to what they do, and you haven't even initiated the connection, don't do that. And there's another thing I wanted to say is be confident. Be confident. And within your content, when you're going live, when you're showing up in your stories, and sometimes you might feel like an imposter in the beginning, or you might feel like you lack confidence because you haven't been in the game for those certain years, or you're comparing yourself. Don't compare. Remove that mindset. And sometimes you just need to take time. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Sit up straight, stand up straight, smile when you're having conversations. Be excited, because people are opting in also to your energy. Someone might want to work with you just because they love your energy, they love your passion, they love how you teach, and you want to exude that when you're coaching, when in your content, when you're sending voice notes. I highly, highly recommend sending voice notes if you can, because it adds another personal layer and touch to having those organic, authentic conversations in the DM. And it makes you feel like a real person, especially if you're someone who might have a huge audience. I remember on my initial personal page when I was using that for business, and I would reach out to people were like, oh my gosh, it's actually you. And I'm like, yes, who else would it be? But it's because in their eyes, they're like, you're this person who I didn't think was real, meaning like they knew I was real. But then for me to actually reach out and have a conversation with them, that made them feel special. It made it feel like real, genuine. And oh my gosh, you really are here to help serve, and whatever needs I have or questions I have, I'm here to help, or you're here to help. And that's how you want to come across. So to recap, when it comes to having those direct conversations in the DM, you want to create the content to lead to a conversation, and also consume what the other person is putting out and engage with that, get to know them. Then you create that connection, and then that connection and that conversation leads to the conversion, where you invite them to a call, to a freebie, to a training, to offer them like some kind of service that you see is going to help them. And if you would love my current exact framework, comment access, and I'll send that to you. But you also want to realize this is just one layer of many layers when it comes to building your business organically on social media. There's so much more that goes into it. We didn't get to talk about your offer and how to craft that and understand how to create an irresistible offer that your audience actually needs and wants to opt into, who's going to raise their hand like, where can I sign up? I actually need that. Or we didn't get to talk about pricing. How do you price your program in a way that makes sense for what your ideal client actually wants? We also didn't talk about the messaging and the content strategy behind, again, exactly who are you talking to? Some of you are not narrowed down and niche down enough to that specific person. You're saying, I help men and women achieve X, or I help all women, I help all men. No, we are all different and unique in our own ways, and your specific avatar has specific pain points that are unique to that individual. And there's other people that experience it too, but it's unique to them. And oftentimes you'll find out that many of those quality traits are very similar to who you once were. Like when I was in fitness, a lot of my clients also struggled with a relationship with food, yo-yo dieting, pre-diabetic, poor relationship with self, and even here now, a lot of my clients, could not come up with content ideas, where messaging was very unclear and all over the place, felt like an imposter, was posting just to post and no specific strategy, and really not sharing their story behind their messaging. And so being able to get your audience to raise their hand and engage with your post, and follow you and lead to a DM. And sometimes they'll reach out to you like, I've been binging your content, it's speaking directly to me. Where can I sign up, or where can I join your program? They're asking you, and that's how you want to get your messaging dialed in. We also didn't get to talk about how to structure your program and your offer. What mechanism of how are you going to deliver your product or service to your audience? And so I want to invite you to a free coaching session where I'll be giving a training, sharing the exact process of how I take my clients from where they are right now, restructure their offer if they have one, fine tune it, fine tune their messaging, dive deeper into like who is their exact client avatar, and then the messaging and signature story that they will consistently convey in their content, and start attracting soulmate dream clients, that they are attracting soulmate dream clients all through this framework. And so if you would love to be invited to that, along with get access to my DM script, just all you have to do is comment access below, and I will make sure to send that invite to you along with get you that script. So I hope you guys found this valuable today. Make sure to like and subscribe. I will go live. Well, I do go live every Wednesday, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next live training. Have a blessed day.